The computer died on us in the last time, so we're picking this up in real time. We're marking this up, once again realizing that there's a number of pictures that get this, but this stuff does in fact empower when you get it, and you usually get it by a set of pictures if you do not have the pictures already. Number 24, pictures and stories, I'm sorry. Something falls 5 seconds, so it starts at 0 meters per second. It ends at 50. The average was 25. It fell for 5 seconds. 5 times 25 is in fact 125 meters. Let's check that. How far on Earth will a free-falling object fall if it is dropped from a very tall building? It falls for 5 seconds. It begins at 0 meters per second. It ends at 50. It's 25 meters per second on average. It's 125 meters. What is the average angular velocity in radians per second over the first 3 seconds? If something is accelerating at 4 radians per second, it starts at 0. It ends at 12 in this case. And so halfway, you're looking at 6. How many degrees of freedom does a baseball have? It has the X, Y, and Z, and the rotation about the X, the rotation about the Y, the rotation about the Z. So it has 6 degrees of freedom. How many millimeters in an inch? 25.4 exactly. What are the standard units of pressure in the metric or SI system? It is pascals. It is really not necessarily correct to say newtons per square meter, but they are the same thing. Standard units in the imperial system, pounds per square foot. Hydrostatic pressure 10 feet deep in water, it is actually gamma times depth. So 624 pounds per square foot when water is not moving. The yield strength of sea steel is 40 KSI. The stiffness is actually something else. This is not doing so great on the, so we're going to stop this one, edit these together, and then talk through the rest of these as this computer keeps dying on me. We'll try to keep going with this before it blows up on us again. So the strength of steel is 40 KSI. Specific gravity of cement grain, 3.15. Remember, going down from 13.6 for mercury, 7.85 for steel, 3.15 for cement grain. Granite at 2.67, water at 1, air at 0.00129. It is worth learning those things in an order and being able to pull them back up. Back azimuth of 50 degrees, plus 2, minus 2, add 2 to that, so it's 230. Basically 180 degrees opposite. 3 CFS is going to be 6 acre-feet per day. It works out almost perfectly because the 86,400 seconds in a day and the 43,560 square feet in an acre. 2 milliradians at 3,000 meters is going to be 6 meters because S equals R theta, and if this is in milliradians, so that's 0.002 radians times 3,000 meters. But realizing that off a mil at a kilometer gets you a meter in arc length. And based on some small angle approximation, that's about the distance. Change in momentum over change in time is a good definition for force to really get in your head. The momentum starts at 1,000 in this one. 1,000 kilogram meters per second and divided by 4, so it's 2,500 newtons, or 2 point. It's going to continue here. I'm going to once again hit a pause here, and hopefully we can finish this out. All right, this thing's giving me conniptions on this computer, but I'm going to try to continue finishing it out. We were at this next question, and that is the slope of a function is the derivative, and the area is the integral. Knowing those two terms will get you far in Wolfram Alpha. Planar survey is a left hand. That's northings, eastings, and elevation. GPS is a right hand. Still, we're going to pause one more time. All right. Speed of light, 2.9979 meters per second times 10 to the 8th. Sorry, times 10 to the 8th meters per second. I will talk over the rest without writing because of this issue. All right, I'm not going to be able to write because the computer's going fluey, but unit weight of concrete, 150 pounds per cubic foot, down to about 142 when you've got 7% air. Speed of light, 2.9979 times 10 to the 8th meters per second, or 186,000 miles per second, many know. Speed of sound, 340 meters per second. You can think of that as 5 seconds to get a mile. Capacity of a 2-foot diameter pipe flowing full is pi times 10 cubic feet per second, because the area of a 2-foot diameter pipe is 2 compared to a 2-foot diameter squared, which is just pi, and then you multiply by 10 for the top range of a 3 to 10 feet per second velocity. Porosity of soil of 0.6. That means you've got 0.6 of soil of voids and 1 of solids, so the answer is 0.6 over 1.6. Sand generally has a moisture content somewhere in their 25% range, depending on how well graded it is. Around here we had pretty poorly graded sand. 25% emerges very often. Definition of the inverse of a number or matrix, the number or matrix you multiply something by to get 1. Slope of a line that makes a 60-degree angle with the x-axis, you have to realize that the slope and the tangent of the angle are the same. It's steeper than 45, so it would be the square root of 3 out of that unit circle. Slope of a line, perpendicular line having a slope of 3 is minus 1/3. Mohr circle of stress. X is the axial stress and Y is the shear stress, and every time you build a road you end up building a river, a dam, and or a lake. So we'll put these out. I apologize for not being able to write these through. That's relatively real time. You go through that a number of times, draw your pictures, and that will be the last thing I put up for this are the pictures that kind of are part of this review and sense of heading towards 390 facts that come out of about 7 pictures, in addition to looking in plan, profile, and cross-section, and then you will be on your way, and I guess I will too.